Hey everybody, welcome to FND POD. This is episode 81. 80 fun.
80 fun.
This one's 80 fun.
And
this is
we got a lot to talk about.
This is also technically the first. So first off, sorry, because the last episode we were all like, we made a lot of promises we didn't keep, Aaron. We were all
Can I talk about what happened?
Yeah.
I kind of dropped the ball.
No,
well,
it's all right. So we were.
I was gonna see one battle after another,
right,
on Monday, and then my daughter got sick and she was like throwing up, and
How's she doing?
She's better now.
Good.
Kids go from like instantly violently ill to better so quick. Hopefully most of the time, but yeah, so she's better. And then, so I didn't see it that day, and then the week got away from me, and then I was in Vegas.
Sorry, was it pneumonia? Did she have was it polio? Because that's coming back in some places, right?
Yeah, I guess you never know
also,
right now.
Sorry, real quick. How does that work? If polio's eradicated, how does it come back? If nobody has it, how does it just start showing up again? Okay,
do I look like a doctor to you?
No, but I've always wondered about that, because I've always wondered when it starts showing up in these places where they stop vaccinating, but I thought we got rid of it.
Well, I think it exists in the world. The protection that we get from the vaccine keeps it from,
How do you,
and then
do you get it through bugs?
Herd immunity. What?
Do you get it through bugs? Is it on surfaces? Do you get it in a McDonald's ball pit? Is it just in the play places? Where is polio? Where is...
Polio is contracted primarily through the fecal-oral route, with the polio virus entering the body through the mouth. It is highly contagious and spread through direct person-to-person contact, often in communities with poor sanitation.
How do people get polio not from people?
Respiratory droplets?
Contaminated food or water. Okay. Okay.
You're always spitting tons of microscopic droplets out when you speak and you sneeze and you cough. Could be that.
Right. No, but if you don't have it, you can't transmit it. I'm not a doctor. I'm also not an anti-vaxxer, which it sounds like this line of question is leading me to be like I'm against vaccines.
Is that a thing now? Are people against vaccines?
Dude, where have you been, man? Come on, Aaron, are you serious? I know you're just kidding. Is that too personal a question to ask if you've gotten your kids vaccinated nowadays?
No. Well, you mean for me personally, if you were to like ask? I could imagine a situation in which you would like ask maybe somebody you didn't know well, just because of the current climate, and people might. Well, that's personal.
I'm assuming.
I guess either.
You got your kids vaccinated.
Yeah.
Did they really pump them with 100,000 different vaccines?
No, dude, it's like it's the standard. It's been the same for like decades.
RFK says they put 100 needles in your child at one time, and they inject them all, and then the doctor roundhouse kicks all of the needles in at once.
They set them in that tube. You ever seen that tube where the babies have to get the they get scanned, but because babies move around, they put them in that clear tube, and they look like little sausages. So they put them in there, and then they have little holes in the tube, and then they're like, you can't go anywhere, baby. And we just like inject thousands of things. And we're like, we don't even know what this does. Here you go. Try this one. Ooh, this is candy cane flavored. Yeah,
hell yeah, dude.
Flavored one through your... Because you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can taste it through your skin.
All right, cool. So anyway, we got off track here. Your daughter's doing better. What else?
She's doing
happened?
better. I was meant to see one battle. Didn't see that until last night. Finally got around to seeing that.
But we're not going to talk about that film yet. That's the thing.
No, that's not this week. That's not this week.
That's not today.
That's going to be a double doozy, because this is Spooktober month. And so we have special lineup prepared for this month, and anything additional that we hit, we'll do a little double dipping.
So
I was in Vegas, and then I couldn't see it, and then I finally got around to it Monday, and then One Cut of the Dead, dude. I was trying to
hold on, wait. You just skipped over. You just said I was in Vegas, and you just skipped over that whole thing.
Bro, I'm a world traveler.
Are you up or are you down? Are you in or
Funny
are you
story
out?
about that. So my boss, the employee that I work with who planned the whole offsite it was like 50 of us to go to Vegas. It's a big undertaking. And so to thank him, she split us all into 5 groups and gave us each money. And we're like, go gamble on his behalf, and then we'll collect the winnings and give it to him.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of fun. But I was the one that ended up with the money, and it was up to me. And dude, like a couple rounds of blackjack and roulette later, and I'm down to like $15.
Right, yeah.
Because when we were gambling too, the minimum shot up. So early in the mornings it could be like $10 minimum, but late at night it'll go up to 25.
You're hanging with the high rollers now, pal. You're hanging with.
You lose 2 hands and you're out $50 like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it didn't take me long at all to quickly be like, oh no, I'm gonna be there was a real possibility I thought of like, well, what if we hand him over no money? Like every group loses.
That's the risk you take in Vegas, baby.
But then Daddy Frank came. I was like, you know what? I gotta nut up or shut up, okay? I gotta take it to the bank. And I let it all ride on roulette, and I won it back. And I won, I think out of the 80, I brought in like 105. So a little profit there.
Wait, you started with what?
80. So I
Okay.
won him 25
Okay.
extra
Nice.
bucks.
Very good.
I mean, it's not much. I didn't go. Nobody hit the jackpot.
Hey man, if you're up, you're up. That's
That's right.
If you're even, you've won, man. That town.
I
is
tell
made.
anybody, the only way you ever beat Vegas is if you go once, you hit big, or you go up from your start, and then you leave and never go back, because they'll eventually get you. Because then it gets in your blood, and you're like, you get the taste of it, and you're like, oh, that. I loved winning that money. And then you go back and you get greedy, and you put down more, and then you lose it, and then you get in a hole.
I mean, we could talk about gambling.
Are you
addiction
gambling?
And how easy it is now, because everyone's got gambling apps on their phones. Who would have thought the proliferation of gambling apps would be such a thing? And they're everywhere. And I know you don't have any on your phone. I don't have any on my phone. I've never liked gambling. I've always, from the first day I could make $1, I thought I ain't betting this away. I'm not risking losing this hard-earned money, because I also don't trust my luck. I've never been good at cards, and I never found it to be worth it. And I don't even think I've ever won a large sum of money. So I've never even gotten the rush.
Watching what people throw away and the good that could be done with that money. I know it's like, that's such a cliche thing to be like, oh, think of if nobody was gambling here, think of all the good we can do. Everybody spends money in stupid ways. I've done it too. I'm not trying to like be super judgmental. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, dude, remember
when you watch.
remember when you invest. Hey, remember when you invested? This is the perfect setup for a joke. Hold on. Remember when you bought all those bounce houses and you set up the bounce house theme park in your front yard?
Oh shoot, we don't have the sound effects. Cue womp womp. You got the womp womp?
No, I don't. That was a lawsuit waiting to happen.
So I'm not one to judge, but watching people throw away like thousands of dollars, like
Dude,
in seconds.
People gamble millions.
Or when you go away, the other thing that'll get you is if you stay at one of these hotels and you go to bed at night and you see people gambling, and then you get up early in the morning and you see the same people gambling, and they're like hunched over and they're just hitting the buttons.
When I went to a grocery store in Vegas and I saw slot machines, I thought this whole town is a problem.
Okay, but
now,
if I
apparently tourism is down there, it's too expensive to do anything. No one's got the fucking money to gamble anymore.
Yeah, I've heard that's, but
Did
also
it feel
tourism
like a ghost town to you? Did it feel?
No, there were people. I think it is a problem that they're trying to counteract because of pricing. Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect example. I was so hungry coming back home just because of when my flights were. I was in the Vegas airport and I was like, I just got to eat something. And most of it was crap food. And I ended up at Jersey Mike's and I'm sitting there. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll have a sub.
Jersey Mike's in the airport?
Jersey Mike's in the airport.
Can I guess the price of a sandwich?
Yeah, go ahead. I wanted to get the big sandwich, but yeah, guess the price of a big Jersey Mike sandwich
in an
at
airport.
The Las Vegas airport.
$24.
$25.
Oh, god damn it.
Doesn't that
a
hurt
quarter
you?
of $100 for a fucking sandwich? It's criminal, dude.
for a sandwich.
It's fucking criminal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It makes me mad.
And I remember, and I told Jules, I was like, what does it even make? I mean, it's just convenience, right? You're just paying.
Yeah.
The charge is just for unless there's additional cost for them to get like the ingredients into the airport. Like, it's not like there's not a Jersey Mike's a mile away down the road from the airport that has those same costs. Like, it's just because it's in the airport and they're like, hey, you know what? We can really F people.
Yeah, we can really rob
like,
these.
we can really screw people. Because guess what? They're in the airport. They can't go anywhere. They got to eat somewhere. That's the thing with America is like, we got them.
That's the ethos of this whole country is. That's like the worst. That's like the worst. The dark side of like rugged individualism. Like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. And I'm gonna do things. I'm gonna set the tone.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you don't ever check yourself, or you never have a reason to, or the examples around you are just everyone else who are successful or not doing it. Like, why are you gonna do it? You're just gonna be a fucking greedy piece of shit. Anyway, sorry. I was like listening to news reports about these goddamn fucking data centers and how everyone's bills are going up. Like, people's electricity bills are going up, and these fucking dickheads, Mark Zuckerberg, we're paying your electric bill for what AI bullshit? Fuck you. Sorry.
Isn't that kind of how it always goes? Shit. Like the everyday man gets hit with the bill. Like, it's like the same with these stadiums.
Yeah.
You know, they did a big report on taxpayer funded stadiums and why like it actually doesn't return money despite all the rich people lying and being like, think of all the revenue it's going to bring to the town. And then they did a study and they were like, no. It doesn't. The money just goes into the pockets of
just coalesces
super wealthy, and then we were the ones who funded it.
Oh, and what? I'm just like now. I'm thinking like Xbox recently raised their prices from like $19 for a Game Pass, like $29 for a Game Pass.
Did they?
And it's like AMC is $30. It's like, how about we get the CEOs of AMC and Microsoft in one room, and both you motherfuckers, they're looking at each other like, well, can you not charge $30 because they're gonna cancel my? It's like, well, maybe why don't you? Like, it just eats itself from the inside. Like, all these people trying to siphon as much. It's like, well, we can only subscribe to so many things before we just don't have any money anymore. And if you all lowered your prices, maybe we could afford everything, and you would still make a boatload of money.
Orvin, in the true style of capitalism, another little guy needs to come along because and offer better content for less money. And then take all the business from the big guys. Maybe you'll be the one. You got a streaming service idea?
As if the
Vinflix.
As if the big guys won't find a way to box them out. Grow up.
It's like
grow up, dude. Get real.
Come on, no, that you lack the mojo and the willpower to do anything about it.
You will get. No, the people.
You're a little baby.
The people with the most control and power, they know how to keep it. That is a goddamn. Maybe there's, dude, for every one Mark Cuban. There's 300 million not Mark Cubans, okay?
Is Mark Cuban the good guy?
No, he's like this he's like he came from nothing.
Oh, I got you.
Now he's, they dangle that carrot. And it's like, "Oh, anyone can make it." It's like, well, not everyone's gonna. So it's like, what do we want? Do we want one of us to have the greatest shot in the world, or we want the majority of us to like just live like a decent life?
You sound like a MF communist right now.
Bro, I got this.
Oh my gosh! What is this?
Do you like how I had that?
What is this?
I didn't even plan to have this next to me.
This paraphernalia, dude. You're gonna get our show.
God. No, I was
in this climate, in this economy. You're gonna be flashing that around.
I was in New York this past weekend. I was in Washington Square Park.
The back of it literally says "Revolutionary Communism of America." Damn.
I was in Washington Square Park, and the comrades were out, their group, and I was just looking at the booth, and one of them walked up to me, and goes, "Hey, are you interested in this?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah." I'm like, "Believe me, I don't like the current state of things. I think things can improve. I don't know if like joining the Communist Party is the answer. I don't know if this is the answer, but I don't own the Communist Manifesto. I don't own this book. And I mean, Aaron, this is the ideology that almost launched 1,000 warheads. So I figured, you should know like what's the big deal. And I figured, why not give $4 to the Communist Party? So I bought it.
Man, if we were back in the 60s, you'd be toast.
Yeah.
You'd be toast. And I would throw you out so quickly. if they came looking, I'd be like, "That's my friend Vin, my friend Vin."
You rat me
During
out, huh? You
Dude,
you sell me out,
red scare your way to the jail cell.
dude. I just look at you differently now.
Got it. Hey man, I got to protect my own. Okay, and you over here I feel like you flashing that in front of me. You're trying to like kind of like hypnotize me or something.
Ooh. Let me read one of the spells from the. Let me read one of the.
Wait.
Depicting the most general. What?
Real question. You said they're called. Do they call themselves comrades?
Yeah.
Is that like their group or anybody that's affiliated with the Communist Party? Are called comrade.
Yeah, I think they just like. It's like.
Or is it like a kitschy thing?
It kind of, to me, it always kind of reads as like cosplaying.
Yeah.
It's like you're not Russian. Stop.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know if it was something that they just called themselves or if it was like a legit thing that was like attached to communism and so
Yeah,
some way
yeah. I
other
mean, frankly, I don't know.
Russian
I don't know if
history of it.
comrade is just a Russian word that is adopted because the ideology is from a Russian dude, or like if comrade, the connotation beyond that, I don't really know.
No, it actually says it has Spanish roots.
Oh.
According to AI. Origin 16th century.
Dude, stop using AI. Stop it.
From the Spanish camarada or roommate, and from the Latin camera chamber. Interesting.
Concomitant. I think there's also a word like when you like when you eat together. What's the word for like eating together?
This, as the term comrade generally means mate, colleague, or ally, and derives from the Spanish or Portuguese terms camarada. That's what I'm finding.
There's like a word when you like eat with someone I mean, because you got companion, commiserate.
If this is the case, then we can be comrades. Yeah.
Okay. When you do a podcast with your bro, your comrades.
Dude, you're comrades.
Okay.
So yeah, after our little economic rant.
Huge digression. This all started because a sandwich cost $25 at the airport. Now I'm a
what radicalized you? Well, I was at the airport.
Okay, so anyway, you're at the airport.
Yeah, and just watching all the slot machines, watching all the people, and just, I don't know, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But if I could disclaimer all of that by saying I had a blast, Vin. I don't know what it is.
I'm happy.
I'm not a big gambler. Other than that thing that I did for my coworker, I didn't gamble at all. I watched Tanner. Tanner actually made some money, which was cool. But I watched everybody else bet and do their thing. And then I was like, you know what? I told myself, I was like, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to take $100 out and that's it. And I didn't even do that because I was like, I'm not interested. But aside from the gambling, which I'm not, and aside from the sinning, which I don't do, I don't smoke or drink, I had a great time. I went down to the pool. I ate some good food. I walked around. I saw the sights. I saw the big sphere.
Oh,
you see
that's
that big
right.
old
What was on it?
sphere? A couple different things. At the time I looked, they were advertising Wizard of Oz show there.
Wizard of Oz.
I think, who is Backstreet Boys there? I don't know. I just got saw flashes. So, and also we were far enough away where it was kind of hard to make out exactly from the angle. But I stayed at the Resorts World, which was like multiple hotels in one. So one side was the Conrad and one side was the Hilton, and it was fancy, man. It was probably one of the nicer hotels.
Was the building?
And they didn't even pay me to say that.
Was the building so large that the other hotels were built inside of it? So you imagine you have a you know what I'm saying?
That'd be cool.
You kind of picture what I'm saying though. The building is so huge that a whole other entire structure is inside of it with enough room to make it seem like it's in the open air.
Okay, well, go with me here. Similarly, we went to Caesar's Palace to do a little like bonding exercises for the company, and we went to an escape room company. Oh, actually, I have their shirt on right now.
You told me about that.
And they're not even paying me. Wow. I know, all this free advertisement. What are we doing?
Was it a 9/11 themed escape room?
Dude, so they had, to your point before, you have the hotel, and then you have stores. You know, Caesar's Palace is like got the painted sky, and then
Right,
you've got
yeah.
like this. It feels like, oh, this is like a strip mall.
You walk through the shops, and
And
all
then you
shops
go into
are
the
there.
shop, and then in the shop you've got the escape room. So
Right,
it's like
yep.
box in a box in a box. Little
What was the theme of the escape
nesting
room?
dolls. Okay, so we did. I think it was called Cosmic Crash. It
Space
was
stuff.
sci-fi themed, and we were in a ship. It was, dude. I'm not trying to blow smoke. This was cool. I thought they did a really good job. I've only done a couple escape rooms, but like this one felt. It didn't feel like sometimes you get in an escape room and you're like, this is so far fetched. Like what you have to do to solve the puzzle. I was in one where it was like there's a hole, like kind of like think of a doggy door in the wall. And they're like, oh yeah, you got to stick your head through that and like look up like 180 degrees up at the ceiling. And there's like a, you know, and stuff like that. I'm like, that's just so, it's such a reach. You know, these puzzles felt like well thought out. They were
What's your
legitimate.
dynamic in the? Because there's different roles. You know, there's a support role. There's a lead role. There's someone who just kind of sits there and goes, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, there were those. Also, the people that sit back and be like, "You're so good at this. Oh, go, just go, go," and they cheerlead you on.
Yeah.
Make you feel good. Normally, I'm the guy sitting there going, "I'm a freaking idiot. I can't figure this out. I don't know how they're thinking of this." But this time,
You got in this. You got.
I got my hands dirty.
You more of a macro thinker or a micro thinker in these situations?
I think.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Are
I
you-
think. I don't know. That's actually hard to say.
You could be both, I suppose. Maybe that's a bit. Maybe that's
Sometimes it's a little. Sometimes you get a little ADD. Like you think you're focusing on the wrong thing for too long. That's like not a clue.
Well, they put
And you're
red
like, why
herrings
am I
in there.
Yeah, for sure. Like, why am I staring at this? This doesn't lead anywhere. Or like you like this doesn't go. This doesn't fit. One of the craziest. Well, I don't want to. Nobody's gonna freaking go there and do it. I can spoil it. One of the craziest clues. Skip 2 minutes if you're going to the escape room in Vegas.
In the
Tanner
Caesar's
found
Palace.
like a tiny piece of foil that looked like a gum wrapper in one of the first rooms, and then in a later room there was like a missed connection. Like there wasn't like a wire connecting things, and he had to take that what seemed literally like a piece of trash, like an accident, like left over from a previous group.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, that's gonna make the connection," and he went and put it there, and that was it. I was like,
Wow.
"Okay,
That's pretty cool.
yeah."
All right, cool. So you guys got out. You got out of the escape room.
We actually did with like 48 seconds to go.
That's
I was
nice.
pretty proud.
And you win bragging points.
No, they gave us $100,000.
What? Can I have some?
So I'm rich now.
Can I have some, comrade?
Sorry, you gotta. No,
Okay.
I'm not a comrade anymore.
Okay. All right. Cool, man. So what else about Vegas? Was that it? Did you have a good time? Because listen, I still got to talk about my weekend in New York, and we still got to talk about this movie.
Yeah, dude, you had a crazy weekend too.
So I went to New York. There was a wedding. Some friends.
We were, dude, we were literally like
We crossed them.
ships crossing at night, except planes.
Tips in the night, dude.
Good thing our tips didn't connect to the planes.
Yeah, that would have
Tips.
been bad. That would have been like, get out of this.
What a
scenario.
crazy story that'd have been if we both our planes hit.
Mm-hmm.
And all of our friends and family lost both of us.
Yeah, at once. Dude, the world would miss us so much. There'd be such a great memorial for FND on the internet. People would be like, "Oh, I love watching those guys growing up," and be like,
Dude.
you never watched us. Shut up."
People would come out in the dozens, man.
Dude, they would. Oh God, they would miss us. Anyway, so yeah, I went to New York. There was a wedding there. I stayed in the West Village. The wedding was in the Lower East Side. We went out to Times Square afterwards, and we just
Ooh.
yeah, it was just a really good time.
Did you eat any good food?
I ate a burrito. Oh, I met up with Woodhawker.
Oh, Wood was in New York at the
Yeah,
time?
he was there at the. We didn't know. We didn't plan it. So the first night I'm there, and it's cool because I'm there, and Wood is friends with a bunch of pro wrestling types, and there was an art gallery that I think it's the AEW. This guy who does like props for the AEW. He's also like, anyway, he has an art show, and he had a ring set up, so he had his art there, and then they had musicians playing in the ring, and then they had
It was an art show slash wrestling show.
art show / rushing show / live music.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so there was art, there was live music, and then they brought wrestlers out, and they had. And now, Aaron, I've been out of the wrestling world for a long time, so I don't know who these guys are, but they had this guy named Darby Allin or Darby Allin.
Okay.
Anyway, he was there. Apparently, he's a big deal. Apparently, he was Sting's part. He used to be one of Sting's tag team partners.
Remember Sting? Yep.
And Sting's son was there wrestling.
What?
Yeah, he's like a big fucking dude too.
What?
There was this guy named Killer.
Does he have the same kind of mask, or does he
No, he was
deviates from his dad?
He was not doing what his dad did.
Okay.
Fair.
Respect. Carve your own path.
And then there was some other guy, I forget his name, but like he was the heel. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun watching. You know, being in a watching wrestling in a room that small is funny because, and I've been to 2 wrestling events. Well, not I guess 3 in my life now. And the first 2, one was a pay-per-view, and one was still like a large. It was at the Gund Arena. Now, it's not the Gund Arena anymore. What the hell is it called?
Oh, now it's
in Cleveland.
Quicken Loans,
whatever. It was in Quicken Loans. And when there's big crowds, you could just sit there and watch, and like the mass of people just create. There's just like an energy in the air. If you're in a room of, say, 100 people, the audience has to like kind of.
Yeah, you gotta give that energy up.
You have to suspend your disbelief, or you're just watching grown men like pretend in the ring, and it can be it can be very awkward at times. So the guy
how enthusiastic was the crowd?
There were dips, there were peaks and troughs of enthusiasm. I mean, when the guys were doing some pretty crazy moves in the ring. They were jumping off of things and slapping each other's chests, and there were some chairs were brought out. That did draw genuine reactions. But yeah, there were a few moments where I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, come on, you guys gotta do something. This is weird.
Yeah.
But
it's like an improv show.
It is.
Sometimes you get a lot of laughs.
It's pretty much like it's like watching improv.
So okay, well, Wood was there. You caught up with him?
Yeah, me and Wood went. Yeah, I got in because of him. So we hung out for a minute. That was really nice. And then I went out. This is embarrassing to admit. I'm going to admit it.
I can't wait.
So the apartment I'm staying in, it's in the West Village. It's like I'm steps away from like vibrant nightlife. So it's like 10:30, and I'm like, I'm gonna go out to a bar. I'm gonna get a drink. Maybe I'll catch the eye of a lady. Who knows? So I go to this one bar, and I'm standing there by myself. And normally I'm pretty good about socializing, like walking up to people. But I gotta like feel it. I gotta like there's got to be like an in. There's got to be something I can.
Yep.
I can suss those situations out. There was nothing at this bar. I drank a shitty whiskey soda, and I went to another bar. I was able to actually sit down at the bar, which is nice because people come up, they order their drinks. You could say, "Hey, how you doing?" So I ordered 2. I had 2 cocktails, and then a table opened up, and I was like, "I'm gonna go sit over there. I'm gonna have one more. I'm feeling pretty loosey goosey now." So I ordered a beer. So this is my 4th drink now.
I was gonna say
in a matter of like
you're getting up there.
In a matter of like 2 hours.
Okay. Jeez.
And it was a Guinness, so it was heavy.
Okay.
So I drink it, and at this point, there's just the crowd. Everyone's very engaged in their own world that I'm just sitting there like a creep, just sipping a Guinness by myself. So I get up, I go outside. I did bring a pack of cigarettes on the trip, and I smoked a cigarette. Got the spins real bad. Stumbled back to the apartment, threw up. So that was really pathetic and embarrassing that on my first night in New York, I drank myself stupid. And that was the first night. Second day was the wedding, and that was a great day. That was fun. That was the day I went to the park. No, that was the first day. Or was that the second?
So what was the wedding like? Was it big?
No, it was a small wedding, maybe like 80 people.
Nice, small, intimate. Was it good food? Good
yeah, great
band?
food. They had tacos.
Nice.
Little
and
like
you were there with friends. I mean, you knew people.
Yeah,
so
I was there with Jake
good.
Andrews was there. Some other friends were there. Yeah, it was a beautiful wedding. It was like it was cool because the venue, like from the outside, it looked like a Chinese, like it looked like a warehouse where they keep the fortune cookies for the Chinese restaurants.
Okay.
It was very unassuming, and then you walk up and it's like this really nice kind of like area where they have tables set up that were then cleared for the dance floor, and then the kitchen staff works right there, and then you go on the roof, and there's a whole rooftop where they had a bar and like a giant like charcuterie table. It was really, and then we go out, and afterwards, after we're all done dancing and stuff, then we're right out in the middle of like more nightlife, and it was good. And then the next day, there was a gathering at the park, and our friend Michael brought his Magic the Gathering cards. We played some Magic in the park, and then I had to walk to the airport, and it was sad. I was sad to leave. I didn't want it to end.
All good things come to an end.
Back doing just stupid, dumb work. Just stupid, dumb, pointless.
Back to the pod.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Okay, speaking of the pod, we should probably get into the movie of the week, which, okay, you and I discussed up front that we don't... This is a hard film to talk about. Vinny and I watched One Cut of the Dead. If anybody's unfamiliar, it's an indie Japanese film that was literally made for like, I think $25,000 from my reading, which is incredibly small. And they filmed it over the course of like 8 days. The thing with this film is like, the less you know, the better.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Spoilers, we're not going to go into it too deep at all. But like, if you have any interest in this, I would say it definitely is very inventive for the horror genre and just like indie genre and, you know, film genre in general. And that if you have any interest in it, it's just better to just go in
knowing nothing.
That's kind of, knowing nothing.
The less you know, you have a much better time watching this film.
But what I enjoyed about this movie, again, now starting to get into spoilers, was, again, this was like a true indie. When I heard they filmed this in 8 days for $25K, I was like, okay, this, you know, and they cast pretty much unknowns for all the roles. And then this movie went on to do actually a lot of money. I think it made like $30 million.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because it caught on and it got overseas, and then it got popular, and then it, you know, opened in more theaters in Japan as word of mouth grew. So it definitely kind of like caught on right at the right time. And I think for good reason too. This is one of those films where you think it's like one thing at the beginning, and then the middle you're like, oh, okay, I have it figured out. And the end, it still is throwing like curveballs and twists at you, and you're like, oh man, this was really smart. So yeah, as the first film of Spooktober, I think we should just get into like, what'd you think? What were your impressions?
Yeah, I love this film, but I was smiling at the end of it. I was like, oh, that just was so great. And it's not really, I mean, it's funny. I thought it was going to be like a true to the word horror film. And it's kind of, I guess it's how making movies is scary.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's much less of a true horror film and more just like an inventive
so this
comedy,
is, if you want to watch the film, stop listening to us, because now I'm going to say something that actually will ruin the experience.
Yeah.
Okay, did you leave? Are you still here? Okay. It's a meta film. It's about welcome back. Now you've seen the film, welcome back. Wasn't that cool how that film was so very meta, and it's a movie about making a movie, and which, okay, we've heard that. Hey, we've done that. We did that. But this was the way that everything, it's just one of those movies where, the way everything ties in was brilliant.
I think it was inventive funny in the way that, so like when it starts, I thought, my first impression, because I went in not knowing anything, I just knew that there was like a lot of craze behind it, and I was like, okay, well, I want to see what it's all about, and so we picked it for this month. Starting it, I'm like, okay, there's something about this, maybe the turn, because I knew something happened. You know, a lot of people, the brief things that I read, everybody was just like, oh, just you wait, man, just wait. And so I kept thinking, well, it's going to be this found footage or kind of like this really lo-fi indie film for the whole thing, but maybe it's going to get crazier and the kills are going to get more nuts, and it's like everything's going to get amplified.
Yeah.
And then when like the credits roll after 30 minutes and you realize, okay, that's the first act of the film, and we just watched like the film, then it cuts out and you get to these characters and their backstories from like a month earlier and learn, oh, these characters are put in charge of shooting a live one-shot zombie film to launch this horror channel, this zombie channel in
really
Japan.
quick, backing up, when you saw the zombie film, like the actual film they make, and like right away there's a zombie and there's a kill, right, you're like, I was like, oh man, they're getting into it quick, they're not waiting around.
Because it opens up as she's like getting attacked.
No, well, I knew enough to know that was like that. I knew it was like a movie about making a movie, but then it's almost like,
Oh, you knew that going into it?
I knew that much,
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
but I didn't know the way in which they did it. Like where then they
Yeah.
come back and they show everything like behind the scenes, you know.
Yeah. I thought
So-
it was really smart. Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh yeah, it's about these filmmakers making a horror film, and then there are zombies that are like for real. And
Yeah.
when they get there, when like right away the zombies show up, I'm like, all right, man, they're getting you pretty quick. Like, I wonder how they're gonna ramp this up.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely throws curveballs at you and you think you have it figured out. And then even at the end, when you realize, okay, the middle chunk is they're developing the characters and they're showing like how they got put in charge of, okay, we have to make this somehow. And, you know, there's no cutting, it's going live and it's going to happen no matter what. And then you get into kind of this third person view of them shooting it, which I thought was like really well done because they do a really good job of making you feel like that really was, you know, that they were really behind the scenes shooting the actual making of the first piece, which was the movie they ended up with, which I learned later after reading that I think they did 6 takes of the one take in the beginning of the film.
Oh,
so
wow.
like 6 30-minute takes or something
Yeah.
to actually get the one that they wanted, which it's like a play at that point, you know?
Right.
Or one little mess up is sending it all.
I wonder if they did it.
Down.
I guess, yeah, I guess they would have had to do that just in one day. Or if it's like, we'll
My
try
favorite-
again tomorrow.
My favorite pieces of it were the things that you're watching during the first part, and you think that they're screw ups or like the characters pause for weirdly long times, and you're like, what's going on? And then it's not until the third act that you realize, oh, they're reading cue cards or they're waiting for something. You know, like there's
Right.
reasons behind all of it.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And the actor, you know, the director, for instance, his way of, you know, exploding in anger at the actors, and you know, it's all an act, but you don't really realize it until the story, you know, fully plays out. So
That was
Yeah,
that was a
it
moment where
was-
I kind of, that was to me like a moment of, oh, the writing in this is great. When the director, when he's acting, yeah, he yells at the actors, but it's because he's getting his anger out for how they've been acting outside of the
Yes.
film.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
thought that
There's
was
always
great.
like kind of like this hidden meaning behind everything that you
Right.
is kind of revealed later.
And when his wife goes completely off script because, you know, and then they're like trying to, yeah, just make up. They're trying to correct the errors in real time.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty brilliant. Like the way they go
Yeah.
about it. You know what, Aaron, I would go so far as to say it's brilliant.
Is it your favorite meta film?
This is, how many meta films have I even seen? I would certainly say it's up there. What's another?
Yeah.
What are other meta films you've seen that you really like? Is Schenectady, New York, a meta film?
I think that's play related, but I would probably say, I mean, you could say, could you categorize anything meta as like about making art, you know, like
It's
making
art about making-
or something?
I guess yeah. We'll keep it to that. That's the definition. It's art that's about making art.
I don't really want to say too much more just because I think it's one of those things that you have to see to
So I was just looking at.
really enjoy for yourself.
Wait. So when did that film come out?
I think 2016 or 17.
2017. The director has a film from 2011 called Rice and Boobs.
Rice and Boobs.
And I think it's it's a full feature length film. The synopsis is, what would you choose between rice and boobs if one of these two would disappear from the world forever? The most boring debate in human history starts now. Oh, dude, that actually reminds me of a great question. There's one when we were out drinking the one night. This guy had these great questions to like kind of like icebreakers.
Yeah.
What do you think there are more eyes or legs in the world?
I feel like I've heard this one before.
Okay, what do you think? Are there more eyes or legs in the world?
I mean, legs, right? If you're counting insects, there's clearly more.
Sorry.
There's clearly more insects like centipedes and millipedes with way more legs.
That's what I said, but just to be the other side, because there's this one woman at the table. She was very, very convinced that there are just way more fish than we're aware of.
Oh, okay, fair. Yeah, what do they say? Only 3% of our oceans are explored.
Right, there's just
like
so many fish. But I'm just thinking there's so many ants.
Yeah.
There's so many ants and centipedes, and they got, they got 4 legs or 6, but technically 4 because the eyes offset 2 of them. But I just think it's legs.
What about worms? Are they just neutral in this? They don't got
Well,
either.
I guess define an eye, and we define it as just a light sensitive organ.
Do worms have those?
I don't think they do. Do worms have eyes? No, worms do not have eyes. They are invertebrates. Okay, that has nothing to do with eyes, which means they lack a backbone. We know, and complex sensory organs like eyes. Okay. Instead, worms rely.
I'm gonna go with legs.
Yeah, I'm going with legs.
I'm going with legs.
Hey, jellyfish.
All right. Well, while we're on the topic of questions, I got another one that I don't think we talked about here.
Okay.
Okay. If you had to choose between from now on every bird that you see attacking you or every dog you see attacking you, which would you choose?
Well,
I've got heated discussions about this with people.
I would have to. Oh, man, because there's like a lot of birds. There's so many, and that'd be such a nuisance to go outside and to be attacked by birds.
Such a nuisance.
But like, if your friend has a dog,
oh, these birds.
I think being attacked by birds would be more disruptive to your normal life than dogs. Because it would just be like you couldn't just have a nice walk without. I think dogs are easier to avoid than a bird. So I'm going to go with I would rather. And that would suck because I love dogs. Because you go to your friend's place, it's like, you got to put your dog away. I'm coming over. People probably would stop inviting you to things. You can't, because if you go to the park, you probably would just have to avoid parks altogether.
Let me put a little clarifier on this.
Yeah.
You think you would fare better with dogs wanting to attack you anytime they saw you than birds? You think like not just, oh, this is inconvenient, but you actually think you would survive picking dogs?
I guess I didn't think that like there will be a case when like a dog gets away from its owner. I'm thinking every time the dog's gonna be restrained by somebody. There's definitely, I suppose.
Think if you had to fist fight a dog and if you had to fist fight a pigeon.
Okay,
what
but
are you
dude,
taking?
sometimes there's like 30 pigeons together, or there's like.
Well, I guess you live in the city, so maybe it's different. Yeah,
I see like I'll see 10 crows hanging out like that. That would suck. That's not going to be fun.
Yeah, but would you take 10
Hitchcock
crows
had a
over
whole film
pit
about
bull?
birds attacking people and people died.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Well, besides the point, I just think that my general, I'm going with. I just wouldn't want to. I would like to be able to walk outside without. Or I'll have to live in the desert or something. I'll just have to live.
Well,
where,
you don't see dogs like walk. Like, there's no way actually that you are gonna take a step outside your door, go for a walk to wherever, and not see 2 dogs at least.
Are the dogs just walking around, or are their owners with them?
They could be the owners with them, but dude, they turn like imagine they want to kill you when they see you. Even if they're on a leash, they're using. I mean, and maybe some owners can hold them back, but I mean, come on.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll just carry a gun with me then.
You sick?
I'll just carry a gun. Just carry a shotgun and just shoot dogs.
I would just carry a bat and hit birds.
Yeah, I just think you'd be.
You think you'd get overwhelmed?
I guess when I began answering the question,
you'd be like Harry from Home Alone 2.
When I began answering the question, I assumed that the dogs. So when do they stop attacking? Is it when I'm out of
dead?
No, is it if I'm out of their eyesight, or am I attracting? Am I just like if
I mean, sure, like any. No, I think like any species, like any animal, anything. Like if you're able to divert their attention and get away or something, sure.
Or is it like the witch?
But no, it's not like the
weapons?
moment they stop looking at you, they're like, "Oh, back to my peaceful day."
I guess because the thing with the dude, you're fighting birds off all day. There's birds everywhere.
Here's my point of view.
Okay.
I'm picking the choice in this in which I think I can survive.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm thinking I have to survive the rest of my life like this, it's going to stink, but I could do so indoors most cases because I could live indoors without the threat of birds because birds don't live in your house.
Yeah.
And even if one sees you from the window or something, like you got a pane of glass there to stop it, it would still suck. But dogs, however, way more challenging to go out even for a bite to eat or to a restaurant or something to just get from A to B. You can get in your car for sure, but dogs can definitely kill you. I would take my chances on driving somewhere, getting out for that brief time and going into another building.
Will the birds that see you driving be dive bombing into the car?
Possibly.
Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe.
But the dogs will be running full force at your car too.
Maybe birds is the better answer. And I think I would have some sort of electrified wearable. I would just become a giant sort of like bug zapper, but for birds.
Dude, I always say birds' bones are hollow. They'll explode if you hit them.
Yeah.
I'd just be knocking
You
them
do
out
always say that. You're always
that's
like...
That's kind of something that I'm known to say.
You're always like, you know what? It's hollow.
Bird's bones.
So, okay. Yeah, you know what? I think you've convinced me that birds is the better answer.
But wait, think of how many birds there are.
All right, come on, stop. Because I did say that.
I know. Now I'm joking on you.
Well, stop, dude. I've had a rough day.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. My day's been fun.
All right, what do you think? Sufficient?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is great, dude.
Well, hey, listen. We're planning an episode with our buddy. Is Danny down?
He said he's down. I just don't know. I got to hear back from him about when. We just got to coordinate a time.
Okay, great. We got to coordinate a time. But we're going to bring our buddy Danny, who's an author and
a very well-read
probably
man.
Very well-read and probably would be the perfect person to have on as we talk One Battle. So we'll do that soon.
Yeah.
And then we'll pick our next horror movie.
I still want to do The Church.
Oh, should we do that next?
Yeah, let's do that next. And I want to try to get donut for that one.
Great. Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. Okay, cool. That was... Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Great. All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, guys. This has been episode 81. Hey, really quick shout out to our Patreon and our YouTube memberships. If you want to support the show, do so there. We're going to have watch-alongs, all kinds of fun stuff once we get people on board. And new episodes every week. So thanks.
Thanks.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.